Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to why South America's geography is way weirder than you think. I mean, South America is definitely, in terms of, like, geography, land or whatever. I mean, you got the Amazon rainforest there for starters, so it is a very unique place. But there's mountains there, like there's the Andes Mountains, you got the Amazon rainforest. There's probably a lot more that I'm thinking of. Is there deserts in South America? I don't think there is, but it's very tropical. And then parts of it are very cold, parts are very hot, and yeah. And then in terms of the geography, maybe the location we're going to see, but yeah, let's get into this. Hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some reactions that I can't post to YouTube, but let's just jump into this.
Creators. The geography of South America is pretty strange. It's home to 14 countries, including the very famous South American countries of the Netherlands and France. But wait, hang on, those countries are in
colonizing
Europe. Alas, that might largely be true, but dude,
the Netherlands one will be not Curacao, the other one, Guyana?
Tell me, which country does France share her longest border with?
France. Fuck. I don't know the France one.
You'd probably want to say something like Germany or Belgium or perhaps even Spain, but if you measure them all up, the answer that you're going to end up getting is delightfully Brazil. You see, there's a chunk of France in South America.
Suriname?
That's marked on maps as
Suriname's the Netherlands one. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
French Guyana, but it's not an independent country. It's literally 100% fully a part of France and the European Union, the same way that Alaska is part of the United States. So because of this goofy little geographic quirk, the largest national park in the European Union is actually not located anywhere in Europe, but in South America, inside of French Guyana, the Guyana Amazonian Park. Right next door to France here is Suriname.
That's
and despite
wild.
Suriname and Brazil sharing
Suriname is the Dutch one, right?
a fairly long border between them, there isn't a single road that connects them together, meaning that right now, the only way for you to drive from Brazil into Suriname or vice versa is to either drive through Guyana first or France. And speaking of Brazil, it's important for me to show you exactly how huge a country Brazil actually is. This is the northernmost point of Brazil, and this down here is the southernmost point of Brazil. How many other countries do you think the northernmost point is closer to than it is to the southernmost point? Obviously places like Venezuela, Guyana, and the now not so unexpected France, but if you measure all of the distances out in straight great circle lines, you'll find that the northernmost point is closer to Colombia, Argentina, Ecuador, Mexico, and even the United States than it is to Brazil's southernmost point. But it can't be closer to Canada too. Can it? Well, if you measure it out again, you'll actually see that, yep, most unexpectedly, Brazil's northernmost point is
how does that even make sense?
even closer to Canada too.
It's nearly closer to Africa. I mean, it's not, but it's nearly.
Than it is to Brazil's southernmost point. Brazil's northernmost point is in fact closer to every single other country in the Americas than it is to Brazil's southernmost point.
Oh, wow.
A fact that defies most appeals to common sense. But even more shocking than that is this. What geographic location do you believe is closer to Brazil? Miami or Africa? Starting again at the same northernmost
It's gonna be Africa, isn't it?
point of Brazil.
I didn't realize how. I mean, they're not close, but I didn't know they were this close in comparison to obviously like Europe and the US and Canada. These are a lot closer than I actually realized.
Brazil, the straight shot distance over to Miami is 2,898 kilometers as the crow flies, but Brazil's easternmost point over here is only 2,883 kilometers away from Sierra Leone across the mid-Atlantic, which means that Brazil is located a very narrow 15 kilometers closer to Africa than it is to Miami, meaning that you can factually say that Miami is further away from Brazil than Africa. The biggest reason for why this may come as a surprise to you is because most of us in the Northern Hemisphere have a weird misunderstanding of where exactly South America is located geographically. We all know that South America is, of course, south of North America, but it's easy to forget or simply not know that South America isn't directly south of North America. If you're in the United States
Yeah, it's very far forward, to be honest.
and look south and you draw a straight line down from your gaze, it's unlikely that that line will ever actually hit South America. This is because if you start in Jacksonville, Florida, and draw a line straight down across the globe, you'll discover that the entire South American continent lies just to the
Is this not exaggerated a little bit? Is this actually how it looks? I knew it was further forward, but this much. What?
The east of this line. South America is so far east that the entire continent is significantly east of Detroit, and therefore most of the United States. South America is much further east than most of us believe it to be in our heads, and because of that, there's some other interesting geographic implications. Despite not being strictly located in South America, the Panama Canal is close enough to warrant some mention here. The canal enables ships to travel between the western Pacific Ocean and the eastern Atlantic Ocean quickly without having to sail all the way around South America. But if you zoom in closer to the canal itself, you discover that ships travel through it in a rather unexpected direction. If you're starting in the eastern Atlantic Ocean and you're going across the canal to the western Pacific Ocean, you actually begin in the north and generally travel southeast to reach the Pacific. To further complicate your confusion, the Atlantic side of the canal is actually further to the west than the Pacific side is, which means that to travel from the Atlantic to the Pacific, you actually end up traveling east. South America is so far southeast that it's actually on the exact opposite side of the world from Asia. If you began anywhere in South America and dug a hole straight down to the other side, here is a map showing you where you'd end up popping out at.
Jeez.
If you began in Argentina or Chile, you'd end up somewhere in Siberia, Mongolia, or China. Paraguay would get you into Taiwan, Peru would cause you to wind up in Vietnam, Cambodia, or Malaysia, Brazil would get you into the Philippines or Indonesia, while Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana would all
They're near flipping Australia. What the fuck?
will end up putting you across the various islands of Indonesia. So yeah, South America's geography is probably a little weirder than you might have thought it was. Now if you've made it this far...
Oh, we've done this video already. God damn, they've already gone to the ad. This is a short ass video. The geography of South America is no stranger than South American politics. Also, you could have mentioned that despite being named South America, it spans both the northern and southern hemisphere. Brazil is also the only country to have both the equator line and Tropic of Capricorn. I have no idea what Tropic of Capricorn is. I'm from Lima, Peru, which is almost a perfect antipode? I don't know what that is. To Phnom Penh. I can't say that place. Cambodia. So when I was in prison in Phnom Penh, I placed a slice of bread on the ground and then asked a friend in Lima to do the exact same to create an earth sandwich. That was the most pointless comment I've ever flipping read. I was hoping for more. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is a bit short. That's cool. Brazil is big, and French Guiana is part of France. There's plenty more. Come on now. This is quite an old video, so fair enough. But South America is so big, you could fit Ecuador, Venezuela, Colombia, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, and Brazil, and still have some room left over. What? Which continent do you live in? South America? Cool. Brazil? Nah, France. What? That is quite fascinating, the France fact. But yeah, that's that. I mean, I was expecting more, but it was a short video, and I guess half of it's for the ad, I guess. But yeah, that's that. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time, peace.